Okay guys, so we're about halfway through this duty phase, and for me it's more emotional, more deep than the taking action phase and the obstacle crossing phase, okay? Where we're kind of really having to look at ourselves internally and decide what our core values are, what things are important to us in our life, and what our beliefs are, and how we can go out there and be more firm with ourselves and with other people as to what we believe in and stand by them. Okay, so it is a little bit more emotional, it's a little bit more kind of looking for that strength of character for you to stand up and be counted. Now, the quote today is, it's really pretty much saying like, not to abandon yourself first of all, and not to abandon others. Now, we try and break it down as best as I can as to the way I perceive the quote to mean, again, to my life. So, say we give food, for example. So say, for example, there you're flying along, everyone's just eating normally, you're all having great time, parties, takeaways, whatever else, right? And you decide one day, do you know what? I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try something different. A new food plan or whatever it is. A new craze is out there, or you just think, oh, do you know what? I've just had enough of eating all this stuff. I want to just get a little bit more healthy, whatever it is. So you decide to give that a go. You'll find straight away in your circle that a certain amount of people will say, you're mad. So what's wrong the way you're going? You're going fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, you don't need to be doing this new food plan. You don't need to do it. And then you'll have other people in the circle who say, oh, that's a load of baloney. That's absolutely BS. Just eat, you're grand. And you'll always have these oppositions all the way through your life, no matter what you're doing. I'm only using food as an example. It'll be the very same for business. What can happen here is self-doubt comes in. So you abandon yourself, what you want to achieve, by listening to others around you and being influenced by them. Because you don't have that core strength, ability inside to say to yourself, you know what, I'm doing this for me. It's not for you. It's not for them. It's for you. But as soon as you go to a restaurant with your friends, whoever else, you feel under pressure to eat similar to them. And it's very rare that people will sit there and say, oh, I'm having this. And the rest of the table go, you're not having this. And no, I'm not. I'm having this because it's good for me. You're fueling your body. I'm not fueling yours. Eat what you bleeding want, like. But that's just that's a very basic example because it's so common. And you can put that to business, you can put it to anything at all that you're trying to do with your life. The way you're trying to change, your fitness, your health. And especially, I find it quite funny that with the lockdown period and everyone getting out there and suddenly they're out walking, they're out in the hills and suddenly they're mountaineers and they're experts and then they're doing home workouts and wow, and everyone's buzzing and it's great. It's fantastic. But as soon as you go off this path now and say, I'm going to start doing this. Oh, whoa. What about the walking in the forest and what about this and the other? And people will question you again and again. You need to not abandon you, but also not abandon those people. Because what can happen is you can get defensive. You feel that anxiety inside, the little bit of a shake in the stomach, a little crackle in the voice, and you're trying to explain yourself as to why you're doing something. You shouldn't have to explain yourself. But you feel the need to because of society, because they're your friend or family. So you're trying to explain to them, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because it's good for me. I'm doing it because you're trying to get reasons out there to justify what you're doing. When really you don't have to. At the end of the day, how does it affect them? The way it affects people is, and this is a sad thing about it, a lot of people, as I've mentioned before, in your circle, in your family, don't want to see you progress. They want to keep you in that little area. Yeah, if you're fine where you are. And as soon as you start to progress or do something different, it's like, oh, stall the ball there. That's not for you. Who said it's not for you? So you abandon your ideas, but then you fall out with the people. Or you have this little grudge, then a chip on your shoulder. Oh, I wanted to do that, but they said it wasn't good enough. They said it wouldn't suit me, so I didn't do it. So you have a little chip on your shoulder that even if it's with your family, and you don't say it, it'll be there in that energy connection. And it'll develop over time. Same with your friends. And what will happen is you'll soon have that breakdown where it becomes spiteful. It becomes almost like anger. And you have that disconnection with people. And it's all down to you trying to pursue something and their opinion of what you're trying to do doesn't fit in with your core values. So you abandon yourself by giving up, and you abandon them by having this energy breakdown. Wouldn't it be great if I went out now today and said, do you know something? I'm going to do this business. I'm going to add in another income stream into my business. I'm going to start doing this work here. So I tell 80% of my friends and family. 60% of them say, I think you're mad. I think you're off the wall. Another percentage of them say, oh, it's not for you, pal. You wouldn't be good at that. And another percentage say, nah, Davey, you haven't got a clue what you're at, man. Stick to what you're doing, what you know best. You're going out of your comfort zone. You're going way beyond where you should be going. You don't have the skills, you don't have the mindset, you don't have whatever. So they beat you down and beat you down and beat you down. So I can give up. I can say, do you know what, they're probably right. I'm no good. Or Mick down the road, he knows better than me. Or Jim down the road, because he's mouthy, is telling everybody you're not good enough. So I better not do that. I'll sit back in my box and I won't do anything. So you give up. You abandon yourself and your core beliefs. So I abandon myself. I abandon what I want to do. That's letting myself down. That's not having a duty to me as a person and to my beliefs. So I give up because of other people. So now I'm bitter. Now I'm like, fuck this anyway. And the self-talk kickbacks in. And you're there and you're talking how bad you are and you're not good enough and you never achieve anything because everyone else thinks the same. Okay? You will have the 3% who'll pat you on the back. Go for it, man. Fair play to you. I'm delighted for you. And they're genuine. Genuine. And don't forget to watch out for the people who will pat you on the back. Oh yeah, you should do that. Hope he fucking fails. Pushing you along. Off you go. Fall flat in your face. Because those people in your circle as well. Sad, isn't it? Now, if I abandon myself at that stage, I've let myself down. But now, I'm already blaming the others for my failures. I'm blaming them for me abandoning myself. So now I abandon them. So I abandon my friends, my family, and these people who were telling me these things. You have to remember, just because somebody doesn't really want to see you achieve, it doesn't mean that you can't still have an energy connection. Yes, you can be more aware. Yes, you can learn. Yes, you can know more about their character. Okay? But it doesn't mean you have to abandon them and say they're worthless because they stopped me from doing something. Because at the end of the day, what they've done is formed an opinion of you of what you're doing, and they've spewed it on you, which they have no right to do. But you've taken that opinion on board. You've brought it in here, and you've said they're right. So you have agreed with them, with the people giving you the opinions. So the next part's going to hurt. That's because you are weak. Your mindset is weak. Your self-belief is weak. You have self-doubt, and you question all your actions you do. Which is why we need to look at these daily quotes that we're doing to build up yourself inside, to build up that armour, to have a duty to yourself to be that good person, to spread good news, to not go out there and hug everybody, but to have a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Have a pair of balls, for God's sake, and stand up and go out there and be who you are. It doesn't mean step on people's heads. It doesn't mean when Jim down the road says you're useless at that, you say, right, good luck, Jim, off you go. Because Jim's not in a good place. It's quite possible Jim wants to be where you are. Jim doesn't know how to climb the ladder, but you do. You're taking one step at a time. But Jim hasn't got a fucking ladder. So maybe Jim needs help. So just because Jim says you can't do it, brush it off. Look inside as to why you want to do this and go and do it. And then reach out to Jim and say, Jim, I'm doing this, it's great, man. Stand up for yourself. I'm doing it, it's brilliant, it fits in my core values. If it works or not, who knows, I'm doing it. Listen, pal, if you need help with anything, I'm here for you. Wouldn't that be an amazing reaction, wouldn't it? There's two positives. Okay? One, it's not abandoning yourself or what you believe in. So you've made a massive step. We can move on at that stage and fuck everybody else. Or you can say, I believe in myself. Two, Jim, I can help you out. If you don't want the help, you're not ready. but are here for you. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Guys, have a great weekend. Smash it as always. I love today.